Hey guys, Tim here from Foodie Coaches. I'm here with Coach Ben. Amazing story. Ben actually started off as a member, totally changed his life. Then he came and started coaching and is responsible for changing so many lives. But we're chatting today. Talk to me. What surprised you the most when you started coaching? Because on the outside, people look at the coaching and they see the results people get and they're up on stage presenting and they're like, oh, I want to be a coach. What people see versus what you have to do is two very different things.
The thing that surprised me the most was that people reach out for help, yet they are so set in their ways and so stuck in their firm beliefs that whatever is said to them, they can't change anything. That won't work for me because I'm special. The excuses, like if you're that desperate for help, keep an open mind. Just trust the process and listen to the experts.
Why do you think that happens?
Fear? Definitely fear.
Yeah.
Ego?
Oh.
A lot of people come in with an ego and they think, oh, I'm special. I know what I'm doing.
Do you think the ego is created to keep them safe because potentially they feel like they've been living a lie for a considerable period of time? Because you would have probably had the same experience where on the outside things look great. Your businesses are busy, your social media looks good, your team are relatively happy, and everyone on the outside thinks, oh, you guys are doing so great because they see how much turnover is going through the business. But on the back end, cash isn't where it needs to be. You're burning yourself out because you're giving everything to everybody.
Yeah.
So then the ego is there to protect yourself, to make sure that you don't get hurt by what is actually going on in your reality.
A lot of the time, and I see this from time to time, people will reach out and they've left it so late and their ego is so big that, oh, it's not my fault, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
They're looking for someone to blame.
Yeah.
And so they come into the program expecting nothing to work so they can say, oh, it's their fault.
So that was your biggest surprise, people actually going and investing in themselves in the program and then turning up, but then having to overcome so many mindset.
Yeah, exactly. And we see that the people that don't show up are the ones that don't get the results. The ones that don't engage in the community, that don't engage in the content, don't show up to the coaches that come to the meetings, or they don't respect time. That's a huge thing. If they're not respecting the coach's time,
your own time, so don't respect anyone else's time. It's probably a representation of the fact that they've never had the opportunity to show up for themselves. So then showing up everywhere else is hard.
Exactly right. And it might be because they've never been taught or shown how to show up for themselves. They just think they're doing the right thing, but they're actually not.
And then obviously not every conversation is like that, right?
No.
That's 80-20.
Yeah,
80% of people come in, crush it, they just want the results. And then 20% are the ones who take up 80% of your time, who also are the ones that we know if we can get them through those hurdles, the biggest growth and the biggest impact we're going to make from.
That is probably one of the most satisfying parts. For me as a coach and for us as a business, seeing those light bulbs go off and seeing those people actually realize this does work. What I'm doing is making a difference. It starts off small and it takes some time, but as soon as those wins start happening, the momentum takes over.
Yeah. How do you protect your energy? Because when we get people in these positions where they need help, how do you protect your energy? Because I've seen you out there at an event where we've had members who have been struggling, not because they didn't want help, but their personal life was in turmoil. The way they showed up, I was like, I don't want anything to do with them. And the other coaches were all standing back. And you're the one who came to me and said, look, just give me 2 months and I can work with them, I can change it. And then 2 months later, their results are insane. And you brought more leadership than what I did in that moment. And so how do you protect your energy when you're helping people in that much pain?
That's a really interesting question. Understanding how they're feeling, because I felt it, that empathy and the emotion and the passion, they showed up, they had passion, and I knew that they were desperate to save their business. This isn't working, because why would I try and help someone that doesn't want to help themselves? But they were so desperate, and I could see they were desperate and they needed that help. And I've felt that, and I know how that feels, and I wanted to help them. So I backed myself. I knew I could do it, but then being able to remove myself from that situation and understand the next step and then communicate that effectively to them.
Now, last question. What's the difference between a coach and a consultant?
A coach is someone that facilitates, that helps people understand what they need to do. A consultant goes and fixes it. We don't fix it for them. We teach them how to do it. And it goes back to that saying, you teach a man to fish, he eats forever. You catch a fish for him, he eats for one night.
Yeah, that's exactly right. With Coach Ben, a lot of passion here. It's not just about a job, it's about changing lives.